I'm going to show you guys a quick tutorial on this stuff because once you get out in the woods, you can't get stuff. There's no stores. And we're going out for 5 days. First thing are gaiters. These gaiters are important because they keep your socks dry and they keep rocks out of your feet. And we're going to be walking around a lot of dirt, a lot of rocks. Last thing you want to be doing is stopping every 10 feet to get rocks and gravel out of your shoes. Next thing is these poles. Real important because you're going to be dealing with places that are rocky, slippery things, and you need to get a bearing. I've got a first aid kit to probably cover most people. The pack. What's really important about the pack is you want to go for about 42 pounds. You have to have a cover so when it rains, which we're going to get a lot of rain, you don't want this thing getting soaked and weighing another 20 pounds. You got to have a pack cover. You got to have a little shovel here. So when you have to go in the woods, go to the bathroom, dig yourself a hole. Then, so that's the two things, and I got a little toilet paper I keep up here. So that takes care of when it starts raining, you cover things up, and if you have to use the bathroom, which you're going to have to. So that sits in there. Now every pack is different. These are essentials that you need. The next thing comes cooking. A little toilet paper. Now what you do when you cook is you never put food in this pot. This pot is only for heating water, period. Because you don't want food in it because then you have to clean it and you attract bears. And you have this thing called, it's bent a little bit, this is a spork. This is you do all your eating with that. And then you clean it off. In here, everybody has to have their own stove because you can't carry fuel for 5 people. You wouldn't have any. This is called a pocket rocket. This goes on these little canisters that will also sit in here for cooking. And I have some matches in here to take care of business. A couple starters. So this is all my stuff to light things on fire and cook food. So that sits in here, ready to go. So if you stop and you want to eat, and I usually carry two tanks, little tanks. You see those. That's called a pocket rocket. There's other types, but that's really, really light. And that's a really light little stove, a little camp pot. I usually pack up carefully in this, but I'm trying to be quick for you guys. Okay, so that takes care of that. That's your cooking stuff. Keep your pack dry. This is another thing that's essential. Is in here, I have a water purification kit right here. Purify the water that has like 5 gallons, and I have some fire starter here also. So that's what I keep over here, purification, and that's a pretty nice one. If you fill it up, it's like a 5-gallon thing, and you hang it from the tree, and you can get quite a bit of water. So when you hit camp at night or whatever, and that sits in here, because you never know with water. I think that's called listeria. So if it rains, my pack's about 42 pounds. But then when you add water, of course, it's more heavy. Over here, it's another thing you need. This is, I've got some hats and gloves there. I've got a complete rain suit here. A good Patagonia, has a hood. One of the things with the hood is I don't have it here, but you want to have like a baseball cap or something with a brim, so when it's raining, the hood, you don't want the water all dripping in your face. You want to have, all the hikers will have like a baseball cap. And that's primarily just to keep that water off your face. I don't want to put this all back. This is packed. All I have to do is add water to this thing, and we're going out in the woods. So, and this is stuff we can do at REI when we get there. Those guys are experts. But it's really important to be ready because everybody has to carry their own food, their own fuel. I have one of these things that go around your neck. You know, you can pull it over your head. I have water here that I carry. Okay, so now I'm going to get into the pack. Oh, right here I have a little blow-up mattress. It's real light. It's like 3 inches. And then I have like one of those mats that you would use at yoga or something, just for the torso because you can't be that big. And it helps. It's still a little rough sleeping out there in the bush. I've got some rope here just in case. So then I get into the pack proper here. And what I have here is, what is this? This is, let me think here. Let me see. I've got,
It's part of your tent.
one of them's my parka, and the other one, let's see. I should know right off the bat, I think. It's all essential. Okay. These little things are nice because it keeps everything dry. And let me see, I know it's been a while since I've been out, but I did go through all this stuff. These things are real cool because you want to have like a down jacket. If they get wet, they're ruined. They're no good. They don't keep you warm anymore once they get wet, the down stuff. And that's really important to keep your down jackets dry. And oh, this is my down jacket. This actually zips into itself. This is a hold down jacket, and it gets real puffy when you take it out. Okay, and that has to stay dry. That cannot get wet. So if you're going to wear that and it's raining, you got to have your rain suit over it, because once it's wet, the down is no longer fluffy and it's no longer keeps you warm. So it's really important to be on top of that. And let me see here. This is, this is my sleeping bag. This is a sleeping bag. It's rated to like 30 degrees and it has a liner in it. And this is the whole sleeping bag right here. And you can wear clothes. It has to be small because, as you can see, I could do without that mat, but I'm 62. And then these are right here. This is what you boil the water, and these things right here, they snap together. So you boil your water, and then you put this together, and whatever food you want to, like say I like to make oatmeal, you want to make tea, you'd use this to drink out of. And this way you don't have to deal with anything that's big, and that's real cool. And this is really the heart of the whole thing, because you're going out there for 5 days. This is a tent. This is a one-man tent. This is the whole shebang, and it works really good. And I have a tarp in here too. Yes, I have like a 10 by 10 tarp. You can set up, say when we make camp, it's raining real hard. It's a place to go under for a little protection out of the elements. Now this right here, this is the heart of the whole thing, and you guys have to carry all your own food, because we can't have anybody else responsible for everybody else's food. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is when you get out there. Now, one of the things a lot of hikers like to have, this comes from Ralph Kelly. When you're hiking, I have a little pouch that they sell, these little pouches that go right here, and you can put a water bottle in. I don't have it with me, I packed it in my other bag, and then you can put stuff in there. I'm gonna have my cell phone in there, and then I'll have some treats. I'll have some, I usually like to nibble on those Cliff Bars, and then you get a peanut. Now, Ralph Locker walked the Appalachian on these peanuts. So, very important. That comes from Ralph, and it does work. You just pop one in your mouth once in a while. Now, this is the heart of the whole thing. You gotta have a bear cancer. I've got some stuff from prior trips, and this is stuff you can snack on. Tuna fish is always a good one, a lot of protein. This is salmon. I've got some Patagonia red bean and chilies. I've got some vegetables here. I'm bringing just a few extra foods because I know hopefully all you guys have it together. This is Ralph Lockett's go-to beef stew. He loved beef stew. It has a lot of stuff. And what you do is you open this up, you boil your water, you pour it in there, let it sit, and this is what you eat out of it with your spork. Now, what I like to do, now, of course, Dan criticizes me for this, but when I get up in the morning, I like to have oatmeal. I boil my water, and then you get something hot in it, because it's going to be cold when we wake up. It's going to be like 40. I put a bunch of blueberries, bananas, walnuts, a little bit of cinnamon, nutmeg, just all kinds of stuff is sitting in here. And it makes for a good breakfast that really fills you up. And the nice thing about this is it sits in the pack, nice and small, and it kind of conforms to the pack, so you get more in it. And that's really the deal. I have a bladder that sits right in here. We're not going to have too many water issues where we're going, because there's all these glaciers, and water everywhere. But on the Appalachian, you might go for 4 or 5 hours and not come across any water. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you guys that. Oh yeah, I have one other thing. Well, this pack is kind of cool because it has these pockets here. And these pockets are kind of cool, and I keep some stuff in here, like, you know, toiletries, brush my teeth type stuff. I got a compass in there.
It's like a fanny pack.
Yeah, it's like a fanny pack. It's really cool. And then over here, what I have is some first aid stuff. I have, now, I have an off, I have a knife, I have scissors, I have some of these patches. I also brought some moleskin. I've got moleskin in here for feet and stuff. And because feet are a big thing. And one of the things I found with feet is that they sell these big wool, they sell socks for your feet are really important. They have these liners you buy, and they're like a dress sock. They call them liners, and then you put the wool over it. And the idea is that the wool will rub and give you blisters, where the liner is supposed to take that rubbing friction off of your skin. What I found is I like hiking with the liners and not even using the wool. I found the wool kind of gets your feet moving around too much. And if you have a good shoe, I find just a thin sock, tie your shoe up tight, it worked better for me. I was having some real problems with the wool until I pulled them off and just went with the liners. But you gotta go get the good liners and the good wool socks. But the liners, to me, are the bomb. And then they also have underwear that are like hiking underwear that dry up real quick. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you guys. And that's, so you see the thing. This is the heart of it. You have to have a bear canister. You see how big it is. And so that's why everything else has to be so small. That's it.
Well done.